Something when I first got here, sometime during that first year, I thought that one of the main things that would make this a vibrant and a viable and a vibrant German program is a study abroad component, and without that, that's really hard to do. So one of my first tasks in that first year was to explore some of the options available in Germany specifically. And what I had thought of was to find an institution and a place in Germany that's somewhat different than Hayes in terms of its geographical isolation. So here it's more of a rural area, so I was looking for more of an urban area. And if not an urban area, then something on the North Sea, something with a water access. You know, something that the students would have not only the different culture, but a whole geographical, social, cultural, geographical experience.
A way to completely turn the perspective that people have upside down.
That's right. That's right. So rather than looking for a more remote area in Germany, there are also smaller villages with language programs, etc. I got in touch with an organization in New York whose mission is to market the three major universities in the Ruhr area in Germany, northwest Germany. So this is the heartland of the old industrial Germany, the steel industry, the coal industry, a very densely, if not the most densely populated area in Germany. Wow. So that's what I got in touch with the organization, and they in turn put me in touch with the international offices at those three universities. So when I went over there in the summer of 2008, part of that was fact-finding, and part of that was to represent the university in order to start on a small scale a summer study abroad program with students interested in doing that.
So you went between these three different universities, but the relationship that we have is with one university. Is it one of the ones that you went over and visited in 08?
Yeah.
That seemed to be the best fit?
Exactly. That was the best fit. That was the case, and that was the university in the city of Essen. Today the university is called the University of Duisburg-Essen, two cities about 30 miles apart, and they merged in 2004, I believe. So that was the best partner, the most receptive partner, and the person that I eventually made the agreement with, it wasn't just me, was himself very interested in Hayes. So it was really a nice connection that we had.
They tell you what interested him about Hayes?
I think a lot of the things that interested me as far as looking for a place that's different from Hayes, he in turn was looking for a place different from Essen, which is a city of 800,000 people in a region of many other cities, some with populations close to 1 million. So that was one thing. And also, he was quite a big fan of the United States, and not just the urban areas like New York and the coasts, the east and west coast. And in addition, another important aspect was fortuitous for us. He is a scholar of literature and culture of South Africa, and he had spent time as a visiting professor in South Africa, and in particular a small university that he thought was very akin to Fort Hayes as far as its physical, where it is, its geographic location. And in fact, when he came to visit us last year, he actually thought very much, as far as the topography, that it had similarities to that university in South Africa.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
And so as part of this relationship, we can send students to the University of Duisburg-Essen, and students from there will be coming over here to Fort Hayes State.
That's right. That's right. We actually started the first group of Fort Hayes students went over last summer. 11 Fort Hayes students, some, and I'm really thrilled about this, some who had never traveled abroad before. I think 9 of the students had never been outside of the country. So the first time applying for a passport, and it was a tremendous experience for me to be with them and experience that with them, that newness, that which is all part of studying abroad. An intern for our students going over for a short term, it's a 4-week program in June, which we'll be doing again this June. The exchange called for one of their students from Duisburg-Essen to come here to Fort Hays for 2 semesters. Oh. So this is the way kind of evened out on the financial level. And that student, her name is Olga Renner, arrived last spring, last May, stayed summer semester and all of fall semester, was a huge help to me in the German program. She participated in my classes, even though her subject is English literature. So she was a student in the English department, taking courses full-time and helping out in the German department as well, and really bonded well with the students here tremendously. In fact, she will be coming back this May to start and finish a master's program in English. Oh, so she'll be here for, she'll be sort of taking the second part of the exchange as well. So, yeah, so it was a real success story, both for us and I think for her in particular.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you find that there was some natural interest in the program, especially when you consider the Volga German heritage that's so strong here in western Kansas?
Yeah, absolutely. That's been a huge boon. A lot of the students are interested who take my classes, and ultimately those who go over to Germany on this program are from this area and have the Volga German background, so that certainly adds to the curiosity and the familial interest of these students going abroad. Oddly enough, the student from Germany who came over, Olga Renner, her background is also Volga German.
Oh, wow.
Or at least her family, her immediate family, her parents are ethnic Germans from Russia. Okay. I'm not sure if it's exactly from the Volga region, but certainly for her it was kind of like a homecoming to come here, oddly enough. So it was quite the match.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And having gotten the opportunity to go over there with those students, I know that I didn't get the opportunity to study abroad, was interested in it, but have been over to Europe and came back with my mind thoroughly blown. Did the students? Did you see a real change in the perspectives of the students coming back from Germany, having had that experience?
Yes, absolutely. The friendships that they made while in Germany, a lot of the students tell me they're still in touch with those people. Some of the students want to go back now a second year, and that's certainly a possibility for them. Some are in my classes now who I think wouldn't have taken German if it hadn't been for that initial study, that 4-week program. So in many ways, it's been quite beneficial.
Very good. We've got to go to a break, but we'll be right back with more Talking Democracy.
Scholarships are important because, first off, it's a means of motivation, because a lot of times you have to keep a good, solid grade point average to receive your scholarship. And then secondly, I think they're good because they give people who may not have a chance to go to school, they give them that opportunity, and they help a lot of people get an education that may not otherwise have the opportunity.
I do feel scholarships are important. One of the main reasons I came to Fort Hays is because I received a couple scholarships from them even before I had really applied to get into the college. So it was a major factor in my decision, helped me out through my first few semesters here in college. So
back on Talking Democracy with Avi Kempinski. We were talking about studying abroad before the break, but let's shift gears a little bit, because I'd be remiss if I let you go without talking about some really, really big news that involves you. And you're our recipient, and I believe our first recipient, of a Fulbright scholarship. And the Fulbright is something that people might know. They've heard of it before, but they don't know what it is. This is a huge deal. Something you ought to be very proud of. Tell me a little bit about getting the Fulbright.
I'm certainly